When I covered the old section of the Edgewood Greenwood Cemetery, I talked about Sarah Mead and Mead's Bottom. Sarah is one of those women history almost forgot, but not here in Apopka. This time she's painted larger than life, surrounded by the faces of the community that she helped to build. Today we're going to take a walk through the Mead's Bottom mural and visit the stories that made the homestead memorable. So what was Mead's Bottom? The short answer is a mixed community of farmers and entrepreneurs. The more complex answer is that this was an area that was not segregated and stayed that way until the mid-1920s and early 30s, when Jim Crow laws changed the views of our government itself and caused a land grab. The city council began to use tax delinquencies to move as many black residents out of what they deemed to be white sections of Apopka, Florida. This conflict effectively ended the decades of desegregation and peace the city had enjoyed. So where did it begin? It all began with a woman named Sarah Mead. She was born into slavery in 1836 in South Carolina. She was then sold to a plantation in Georgia, where she remained enslaved until the end of the Civil War. After gaining freedom, she and her husband, Lindsay Mead, settled in Apopka. Sarah spent her time in Apopka introducing the area to other black settlers. She was instrumental in helping early black settlers achieve the dream of land ownership. She provided food and housing while they built their dreams. Sarah Mead is the namesake of Mead's Bottom. She was a baddie of history. She absolutely deserves her panel to herself. Let's discuss the faces painted on the mural. We begin with Reverend Morris Chisholm. He was born in 1882 and he passed away in 1954. Reverend Chisholm settled in Mead's Bottom in 1905. 3 short years later, he married Lula B. Sanders and he began his family. Reverend Chisholm is the last known resident of this settlement. He fought to maintain his property in Mead's Bottom despite the city council's effort to segregate the town. He was an independent farmer and a community leader. Like many of the black families in history, I can only gather information about them found in obituaries that are readily available online and that are free. I cannot find any information on where Reverend Chisholm is buried. However, his wife and at least one of his children are buried in the old section of the cemetery in Edgewood Greenwood. According to his son's obituary, the couple had at least 9 children. The Reverend and Miss Lula Chisholm built an abundant life in Mead's Bottom. It is possible that he rests close to his wife, but the records are just missing. Next up is Marie Gladden. Her face adorns the mural as well as her husband's, but let's give her her moment to shine. Miss Gladden earned her elementary education degree from Florida A&M University. She later received her master's degree from Columbia University. She began her teaching career in 1923. Later, she married Michael Gladden Jr. After teaching for many years, Miss Gladden became the principal of Phyllis Wheatley Elementary School. She was also the Bethune-Cookman College alumni honoree for an educator who made a difference. We're going to skip a little bit ahead here because the next name on our mural is actually Starbird, but we're going to skip over and go to Michael Gladden Jr. because that's Miss Marie's husband, and they spent I don't know how many years together and raised 9 children. They should be talked about one after another. And it's my video and I can. Michael Gladden Jr. attended Morehouse College and later graduated from Bethune-Cookman College. He was a successful entrepreneur who owned a general store, a laundromat, operated a farm, and formed a Black Businessmen Association to help mentor local business owners. He was also a founding member of the Washington Shores Savings and Loan Bank in Orlando. The Gladdens also formed the Apopka Negro Civic and Burial Association, a community project with Miss Mildred Board. to clean the old cemetery when it was called the Apopka Colored Burial Grounds. The association cared for the cemetery from the 1920s to 1970 when the city officially took on the care of the grounds. Today, Michael Gladden Boulevard honors his over 60 years of service as a businessman and a civic leader. Michael Gladden and his wife, Marie, rest together in the family plot in the old section of the Edgewood Greenwood Cemetery. Since we have already mentioned her briefly, let's talk about Miss Mildred Board. Mildred Agnes Board graduated from Bethune-Cookman College with a degree in elementary education and a master's from the University of North Carolina, Durham. She was a well-respected librarian at Phyllis Wheatley and Apopka Junior High. Her commitment to empower Apopka's youth led her to developing the very first Black Girl Scout troop. Her commitment to her community led her to be involved with many organizations, not just a few that are listed in this video. She rests in the old cemetery section of the Edgewood Greenwood Cemetery, where she volunteered time and energy. So let's go back to the next in line, which was Amos Starbird, and he was born in Freeman, Maine. He settled his family in Apopka, Florida, and within 5 years, he founded his own lumber mill. His family was responsible for bringing the utilities to Apopka. Apopka Starbird passed away in 1910 in Apopka, Florida, and for his final resting place, he returned home to Freeman, Maine. His family, however, is located in the Edgewood Greenwood Cemetery. We've already skipped around a lot, but we're going to go to the final face that is on this mural. This is Oliver F. McGee. I honestly couldn't find much about him personally, so the only information that I have is the information listed on the mural itself, which says that his family was originally from Louisville, Kentucky, and settled in Apopka in 1880. South McGee Avenue in Apopka was named for that family. It also states that in his obituary, although I could not find a copy of it, it reads that his gentle and kind manner won him the respect of all who knew him. Mr. McGee, or Old McGee, rests in the family plot in Greenwood Cemetery in downtown Orlando. His grave is unmarked. The mural itself ends at the road. But we're going to go back right now and talk about another face that is on this mural. We're going to discuss the depiction of this person who maybe was a resident of the area long before it was Mead's Bottom. And if I mispronounce it, I'm sorry. But it's Chief Koakuchi. Although he was a real person in history, his history is a lot of unknowns and legends. Some sources claim that his name comes from the Creek word that means wildcat, and others say a general called him a wildcat, and the nickname just stuck. Just as the mural information says that he was probably born at Apopka and that his final battle was here. And others say that his possible birthplace is Lake Toho or West Lake in Osceola, Florida. The mural information is Apopka's official version of history, so we kind of have to go with that for this mural. But let me tell you about a story about this Chief Wildcat that is confirmed to be true. He went to a meeting that was supposed to be discussing peace during the Second Seminole War. But as many people in power do, they saw that the members of the peace delegation were unarmed and they decided to arrest them. They took them to St. Augustine, Florida, and imprisoned them in the fort. There they went on a 6-day hunger fast to become thin enough to fit between the bars. The party then went to the top of the fort and jumped off of it, 18 feet into a dry moat filled with coquina and dry sand. Somehow he managed not only to live through that fall with minimal injuries, but he was able to get away and rally his people. History says that his tenacity stretched the Second Seminole War by 4 years. My favorite quote that I read of his was this: I speak for myself because I am free. Each of the others also speak for themselves. We are a choir of voices that will drown out your lies. I can't think of a more powerful way to end this, so I'm going to end it with that quote. The mural itself ends at the intersection. In the center of that road is a huge fountain. It's a beautiful sight to see. It's well worth the time to get there. If you are ever in Apopka, Florida, drive by, say hello to a few of Apopka's heroes, its legends, just the people who contributed with their work and their care to make this city thrive. Thanks for listening to me talk to myself. If you like, press like. If you want more, press subscribe. Remember to wander often, wonder always, and stay safe on those back roads.